There are three ways to get disability. The first way is what's called the listings. And the listings are where Social Security has come up with these rules for evaluating one problem at a time. So for example, there's a listing for disorders of the spine or for problems with a weight-bearing joint, such as your ankle or your knee or a hip or any of these other parts of your body. They also have them for mental conditions or for various other problems. Basically, if you can think of a problem, there's a listing for it. And what they've done is they've come up with these criteria for evaluating each problem. And they say, well, if you can go down the list and if you can check off each box that we require for the listing, then you're automatically disabled. Now, the thing with that is that the criteria are very strict that Social Security uses for those. And so some people may say, well, I have scoliosis or I have spinal stenosis or whatever it is. You still may not meet a listing because of the very specific criteria that Social Security requires. But there's still two other ways of getting disability. The next one is what's called your RFC. This stands for residual functional capacity, but all that really means is what can you still do despite everything that you have going on with you, whether you have a hurt back or your knees, or if you have depression, anxiety, or if you have another disease, if you have fibromyalgia, or if you have very severe diabetes, or there's a number of different things that you might consider. Basically what happens there is that Social Security looks at everything you have going on and they say whether that is enough such that you can do a full-time job. And for a person who's under 50, you have to say that there's nothing that person can do. You have to eliminate every job. But once you turn 50, Social Security gives you access to a third way of getting disability, which is called the grids. And basically what they do under the grids is they look at your RFC, that second way of getting disability that we just talked about, and they plug it into a formula. And they say, well, if you're 50 and if you're limited to like a desk job, right, and you could maybe only lift a little bit of weight, only stand and walk a little bit during the day, and if you can't go back to doing the things that you've done in the past, then we're not going to expect you to have to adjust to some other new kind of work like we would expect of a person who's in their 30s or 40s. So they'll go ahead and give that person access to disability as well. So when you think about it, it's kind of a continuum of making things easier as you get older and closer to your full retirement age.